crafty friends, Lacey the Cheeky Bum, and today I'm going to show you how to make these super cute salt and pepper shaker tassels. I've had a couple of requests. They are one of my new obsessions. I love making them and everybody really seems to like them. I love receiving them. I've gotten one that's been beaded, but making a ribbon tassel is so easy, and we all have ribbons where, especially if you've been buying them during Michael's sale when they had like buy one get two free, or yeah, something like that. And yeah, I'm going to show you how to make it, so stay tuned. Okay, so first off, you're going to need ribbons. Like I have printed ribbon, I have this like eyelash type of trim, I have twine, I have snow tulle that's cut up into strips, I have pom-pom trim, I have yarn, a lot of different yarn. I have some of this type of pom-pom trim. I even have, like, this is just a strip of fabric that I just kind of ripped. But yeah, there's a lot of different trims. So you're going to need your trims, lots of trims. You're going to need your salt and pepper shakers. These ones are from, I think these were from Marshall's. I've used these ones. These ones are from Walmart. I haven't been able to find any more of these. There's a Santa one too. I'll try to insert a picture. I made Santa ones for my sister-in-laws for Christmas and they absolutely loved them. I wish I could find more of the Santa because the Santa turned out so cute. But I have not had luck. So you're going to need those. You're going to need some wire. This is 20 gauge. I've had this in my stash forever, like literally probably 20 years, because this is from when Walmart used to do the green sticker. That's how long. So there's that. I'm going to show you before I start really getting into it. I have this ribbon too, and I've been cutting my ribbon strips about a foot. So 12 inches. Like this one I want to use, but it's kind of wide. But what I did with this one, and I don't want the wire either, because wire, you can use wired ribbon. It just doesn't, sometimes it will curl or bend or stick out funny. But I wanted this look, this like mirrored look. So I'm just going to cut it into strips. You can do the same thing. Like, so if you have a ribbon that is wired, but you still want to use it, you can cut off the wire ends and cut it into strips and it will work great. So see, now I have this strip. So what I'm going to do is you want to lay it out. So I'm going to get a piece of twine. And this is what I'm going to end up tying it with. So I'm going to put my twine like this. And I'm just going to lay down my strips. Facing up, whatever way you want to do it. Like this. And I'm going to kind of stagger like pinks, reds. I'm going pink and red because that's mainly what this guy is. But you could add any kind of colors that you want. So I try to put this one down towards the middle because it takes up a lot of room. It's a little floofy. So if you put it on top, it will cover up any trim that has like writing or pictures on it. So I'm going to put that towards the end. If they're not all the same, that's fine. You can either leave it slightly varied in length, or you can cut it all the same. Pink. I'm gonna take this. We have some velvet. I like to use just all different like type of textures. That's just me. We have the Merry Christmas. We have this red glitter. I'll lay down these. I also have like this little trim that has little sequins, and I think this is from Hobby Lobby. Oh, I have a couple of these, so I want to bury one of these down in the bottom. You can put doubles in there if you want. I have some that are doubles, singles. I have this one. This one might want to roll up on me. Hopefully it won't. I don't know how to make it not roll. I might have to take this one. So if you have a ribbon that does this, you might want to take it off of the roll and wrap it around some cardboard so it will lay straighter. Here's my other piece of this one. I also have this one that's just sequin strip as well. So I lay it like that, take my twine, tie it tight in a double knot. Just like so, and then the rest of the twine can just kind of fall into place as well with all your other ones. And then you're going to take some wire. Where's my end? There it is. I usually take, I mean, I'd rather have more than less. I usually take about, I don't know, 10 to 12 inches. And then you want to straighten it out a little bit. And put that around. Your string, and then I just kind of wrap it pretty tightly a couple times. Just like that. It does help if these are the same length when you're trying to put it into your salt and pepper shaker. Just like that. Oh, this one didn't get wrapped up in there. That's okay. I had trouble. And then you take out your plug. I'll show you. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The only thing I suggest is, like, there was a lot, I was looking for gingerbread people, and I found a lot of gingerbread houses, but the holes were on one side, and you don't necessarily want that because then it won't hang straight. So you want to have something that both holes are on top or a hole on each side if it comes to a point, so that it can be like even, I guess, like the weight distribution won't like knock it off center. Like here. So this one just has 2 holes, easy peasy. This one has 3, but I want it through these 2 holes, these front 2 holes. So you just kind of, this sometimes takes some finagling trying to get your wires to come through the holes. So I see one. It's just trying to get them both lined up correctly. And again, you might want to sometimes this takes me a minute. Sometimes I can get it right away. So I see one. Okay, so I finally got it through. I looked through the hole and tried to find the holes, and that seemed to work a little bit better for me. I'm going to trim these down just a little bit more. I do think that working with longer ones helps to get it through the holes, but you don't want them too long at the top. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to roll down each side. See what I mean? You don't want it like too long. This is kind of longer than what I normally do. But you're just going to roll them down like so. And that's what it looks like. And it'll hold all of this nice and tight. Again, you could have it a little longer if you wanted. You could have it fuller or thinner, however you want. Then I take one of these bigger rings, and I put it through this top. Whoops. It's going to be a tighter squeeze. I'll pull them together. Like so. And then what I like to do is I like to make a little, I try to put the opening towards the bottom. I then make like a little beaded section. I mean, you don't have to, you could just put a ribbon through that, but I like to do a little beaded section. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if this will be, do I want to bring in the pink and make it very candy? I think so. So then I'm going to take smaller rings. How small? Probably, I think I just need one. So I'm going to attach, I mean, kind of self-explanatory. I'm going to attach this on. And then I also take another one of the big jump rings, and I put it at the top for my ribbon. So I have a nice thicker hole for my ribbon, and it just kind of, you know, makes it a little bit more seamless. So I just kind of do that. And then I decide, you know, what ribbon I want to tie around this. I don't know if I'm going to use ribbon. This is just another, you can do ribbon. Ribbon usually looks a little bit more finished. Let's see. I should have had this ready to go, right? I usually try to do a thinner ribbon, and I don't have, let's see, I'll just use this because it's sitting right here. This is nice and thin. This is how I store my ribbons. I just put a rubber band around them instead of a pin. And then I just kind of make them like, about like that. And then I just take it and tie a knot. Just like that. So it's all done. Now I don't have enough room. Easy peasy. You could add charms here if you wanted. I do have one that was made for me for Christmas. It has chains with charms on the, like hanging from it, and I think that I might do that with the Christmas tree and hang different like colored beads and charms from chains, so they kind of look like you know, Christmas lights. That's kind of what I'm thinking for the Christmas trees, but I'm not 100% sure. But I love making these. They're pretty quick and easy. Salt and pepper shakers usually run, I think these ones were $6 something. I think these ones were $6.99 at Marshall's, but you get like 2 tassels out of them. But everybody really seems to like it. My my sister-in-laws loved them so much. And I think that it's just kind of fun to put in swaps. So I'm going to be looking on the hunt for more to put in my stash. I have some Halloween ones that I found after Halloween for next year. I'm hoping that I can find some Valentine's Day ones. They're just really fun to make, and they're, like I said, one of my new obsessions. And yeah, you could trim these up to have it all be the same length if you want, but I don't mind that they're like slightly varied. I think that they're just really cute. So if you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, they're super easy, super fun to make, and I can't wait to see what everybody else makes. And if you know where to get good salt and pepper shakers, let me know. Hobby Lobby did have some cute ones when I was looking for the gingerbread ones, but again, the holes at the top weren't aligned the way I wanted to on a house. You do want something that's a little flatter so when it's hanging, it won't be tilted. So hopefully we'll find some cute ones out there. I think Hobby Lobby is probably the cheapest because I think you can buy them separately instead of together as well. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't buy anything from there. I've mainly been buying from like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Walmart if you can find really cute ones. Like they just happen to have really cute ones this year and at a good price. So keep your eyes out. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. Bye guys.